welcome to the Walking Dead After Show here on the stream. We're so grateful that you are tuned in with us today. I missed you guys last week. I was freezing in Chicago, but I'm glad to be back. If you're joining in with us live, invite your friends to join in YouTube and use the hashtag TWDAS to tweet us questions throughout the show on Twitter. So let's talk about this episode, you guys. They are finally in Alexandria. How long did that take? It took 5 seasons. That's how long it took. It took 5 seasons. So in this really beautiful, immaculate community. And for me, I said the first thing when they got there and they said, you know, give us your weapons. I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be like the governor's community. That's what I felt like at first. What did you guys think?
Didn't they do that to him at
Terminus?
Terminus too. That's
Terminus
the first thing.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always a bad sign to me because both times it hasn't turned out well for them.
But then at the same time, you have to think of these people who've established this community. I mean, do you? I mean, as much as they've been watching them, do you want them to, these group of people to come in and take over everything that you have?
Right. True. That's
So,
very, very
I mean,
true.
it's a safety precaution.
But it makes them so vulnerable, you know? Like, you want to hope that this is going to be a good place. And so far, it seems like it's going to be, but I don't really know. What do you think, Glenna?
I don't know. It's hard because there are some things with the comics. So some people are saying this is a safe haven.
Right.
I don't know, but sometimes, they're not following it as much. So I don't know. We can't trust anyone.
Right. And we have this new leader,
anyone.
Deanna, who apparently in the comics, Tim, you were saying it's a man.
It's a man. His name is Douglas Monroe. They still kept some kind of things to the comics, that she's a congresswoman, he's a congressman. But yeah, she's supposed to be a man. I was curious that maybe they're trying to bring in more female
characters.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm
What do you guys
sure.
think of Deanna, though? I don't know what impression I have of her yet.
She's just really creepy.
I think it's just because she's
like-
a politician.
I was just gonna say that.
She doesn't
I was
come
just
off
gonna
like
say
a
that.
politician,
She's a
though. She comes off like a
politician.
Oh, I think
psychiatrist.
she does come off like a psychiatrist, and with the whole therapist, like the videos
I
and
thought
everything.
she was a therapist at
but
first.
she does seem like a politician to me because she's very like rigid
Calm
and very
and-
formidable,
yeah.
and just
Yes.
like to the
I
point.
agree.
So that's a very good
I
point.
agree.
That's a very good point. So we want to know what you guys think of Deanna, because I think she's a really interesting character, and I hope she stays good. But we never know with Walking Dead. All these leader characters end up being bad. So next, oh my God, Rick shaved. Praise the Lord. Glenna and I were like, we forgot that Andrew Lincoln's actually really attractive.
Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh.
Daryl's my man, but
Daryl's the one that needs to still shower. He's. I don't talk about that, but we will get to that. But Rick Grimes, he finally shaved. We all forgot what he looked like. That beard was getting out of control.
so hot.
And Glenna and I were like, wow.
It was so refreshing. Like, it just felt like it was like he was a.
Right. And you know what I also found
He
interesting?
went from looking like he was super old to like he was in his mid-20s.
Right.
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah.
baby face. It was really, really funny. But it was, thank God. Thank you for shaving. We appreciate it. What I found interesting, though, is that, and we all talked about this a little bit when we were watching, it seemed like he was getting really comfortable.
Way too
quick. And he's usually the one that's really apprehensive about everything.
Well, I thought that was funny because, an episode ago, he was all, no, let's do this, 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 and this to avoid any kind of, entrapment. And now he's just like, she's like, oh, pretty blonde. Hey, let me come in and cut your hair with some scissors. And he's like, okay, I don't get it. I just don't, I get, he's getting comfortable way too fast.
All it takes is a shower,
Maybe in this situation.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I just think it's weird. Maybe he's just like tired. I mean, I'm sure he's tired.
But it seems like the rest of the group is still incredibly paranoid.
Well, that's probably why he thinks it's okay to do that, because he knows, there are still some people, they're not going to just completely.
I don't think he's totally settled in though. We see him waking up in the middle of the night, grabbing knives out the kitchen.
Right.
And,
True.
So I think
True.
maybe he's pretending like he's settling in on the surface for the purpose of the group to see it.
Right.
So as a
Oh,
leader,
interesting.
That's a
because
very good
when
point.
they're all asleep, Rick's still
He's
in
up.
that paranoid mood. He's taking
wide
walks.
awake.
He's watching
that's
stuff.
true. That's a really good point.
Well, and also, Judith and Carl turned to the corner and he was running around where are they? They can't get far. It's
Right, it's an
fine.
And
enclosed-
it's his idea for them all to sleep in the same house.
Right.
So maybe he's not getting as comfortable as we
As
think.
we may think, yeah. Well, we want to know what you think, so keep talking to us live. And invite your friends again to join us on YouTube and to tweet us using the hashtag TWDAS. So one of the things that I really love that Tim also brought up during the show, and when Deanna mentioned to Rick, oh, these people are your family, you didn't know them, you brought them up, you brought them in and you all traveled together, was how they created this family without knowing each other and why those particular people ended up together. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that.
Speaking of which, speaking of this family, you know who I didn't see this entire episode was the pastor.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good, yeah.
I just thought of that.
I didn't even see him when they did
I didn't even see the house.
Yeah.
He did the interviews. I mean, we know what his job's going to be, but
Right, right, exactly.
I didn't see him in the house at all.
Really interesting.
I didn't see him in the house.
That's cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did we miss him, guys? Let us know, because we did not
Comment.
see
Please let us know,
Gabriel. We did
because-
not see him. But anyways, Tim, elaborate on what you were saying with the family.
I mean, not to get all mushy in The Walking Dead, I just think that it's fascinating in, a zombie apocalypse that it brings people together like that, and that's what it would take for a whole bunch of people who are so diverse and different backgrounds, different beliefs and stuff to come
Right.
together. And I'm just thinking, this society, I think we could learn something from that, you know?
And it's a nice change because for the majority of this show, they've feared humans, and more than the walkers, at least I would say. So it was nice to hear that and see that. Do we think they're going to find a sense of normalcy in this place?
Oh,
I think
Or, like, what is normal
I don't
at
know
this
about-
point?
yeah, I mean,
You know?
eventually. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it'll be like, what was that movie? Land of the Dead, I think it was, where it's
Okay.
like, there's a city now, but they have like
yeah.
the walls and there's
Right.
John Leguizamo was
Right.
there,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
and it's just like they're used to it. I don't know, maybe.
Right.
Maybe they'll find some new way to invent electricity with a zombie on a treadmill with a piece of meat.
Well, they
in
have the
front of it or
solar
something.
thing. They have the solar board. He's so weird.
wow.
Oh, David. David's the one that always
take
gives us answers. All right, so they're in Alexandria then. They're allowed to, check out their guns whenever they want, and they can leave and come back. And so,
It's like a blockbuster for guns.
I know, it is. You can check it
library,
out.
it's a
Turn your
library.
library card, turn it, check it out. It's really funny. So Rick heads out, and he goes back out to get the gun that he hid in the blender, and it's gone. And that was pretty crazy. And then Carl showed up, and all these walkers showed up, and Glenn and I were screaming.
Oh.
We thought when the walker grabbed him from
That was
under.
so terrifying. I was eating chips and I went like that, and they like almost fell everywhere.
Who took the gun?
Well, I was thinking, because they were watching them.
Right.
You think they took it?
Yeah.
They for
Probably.
sure took it because we did see a preview of the next episode right after, and there was someone following someone.
Right.
I can't remember who it was, but they're for sure following them.
Aaron
They
was
have
following
people-
Daryl.
Daryl.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right.
Right.
So it was probably them. I
Right.
mean, they're probably. They don't know that. I mean,
Yeah, they don't know.
They're
at all.
taking
Why are
every
they gonna
precaution
stop?
just like they
Speaking
are.
of
why
what-
would they stop?
I mean,
following
with Rick
exactly.
settling in, like he noticed that his guns that he hid is just gone, and he just came back, and it's like, no big deal.
Well, he can't give it away.
Yeah,
Right.
Because then, I mean, if there was something going on with Alexandria, then, they would know that he was
But
onto them.
they probably it's because they've been watching him the whole time, so they probably knew it was
Right.
there.
Of course, but that's why even at the end, remember, well, I mean, we'll get to that, but at the very, very end, he was like, they can't do this. We're just going to take it. We'll take the place. And Tim was
I
like,
can't wait
there
to
it
talk
is.
about that. Can't wait to talk about that.
So we're like, okay, Rick isn't that comfortable, and he has something up his sleeve. What I love that Glenna said when we were watching was that when they were killing the walkers, that you said that they were staying strong, so that
Right.
because the community might make them weak because they're getting comfortable. They're these nice houses. They're clean. They don't have to fight. They don't have any weapons. So I thought that was a really good point. Do you want to say anything
Yeah,
else
well,
on
and
that?
also it's kind of interesting that they Carl and Rick just showed up there and they're like, yeah, let's do this. But Carl went out to go follow the girl. So
Yeah.
did they talk about? I don't know. That was a weird thing.
They had a
But they were
bromance.
just like,
A bromant. They're
oh,
like,
well,
said
okay,
that.
but I mean,
He
yeah,
said
father
that, guys.
son.
He
Bromance.
said
you know.
bromance. Okay.
Father son.
Speaking of, I think Carl's totally gonna get a girlfriend, and I think he needs something in his life. So
All I'm
hope.
saying is there's probably gonna be a lot of sexual things happening at this place.
It's funny
I'm
that you
just
bring
saying.
up Carl and the girlfriend thing, though, because I believe Dreads on YouTube said last week, why aren't Noah and Carl friends? Just because they were about the same age and, they're the only
Right.
two in the group. And now he comes into this group and, there's these other kids his age. And I'm curious to see why they decided to introduce these characters in this relationship
rather than
now.
creating a relationship
Right.
with
the
Carl and
person
Noah.
who
That's
he's familiar
interesting.
with, yeah.
Well, I feel like they blame Noah for a lot of things.
Well, and also I
Still,
think Noah wants to be with the adults and stuff.
speaking
Right.
of which, why would you put Noah, the kid with a gimp, on the run crew?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, does he still have a gimp, though?
Yeah, he's still got the gimp. He's got a
Okay.
broken leg. I mean, they
Yeah,
haven't
he
fixed it.
does.
They said they can fix it, but how useful are you going to be? when zombies start coming
They're
after
looking
you.
at his
Clearly,
potential.
clearly more useful than these people who are just trying to
Probably
like
those long legs. They
herd
think he's
walkers
gonna
instead of
sprint.
kill them.
I don't know. But
I don't know. We'll see. Okay, one of the topics that we saw on Twitter last week and during this episode was one, a lot of you guys want something to happen between Rick and Michonne. And then, I know, which I think is interesting. And then during the show, there is people talking about Jessie, the blonde girl that cut Rick's hair, and Rick. So do you guys think there's going to be kind of a love triangle?
Love triangle.
Glenna's
It's gonna
all
be,
for it. All
I think maybe Rick and Jessie are gonna hook up or something, and then the husband's gonna find out, and then Michonne's gonna find out, and then they're both gonna hate everyone, and then.
And that husband was creepy.
This is
he was
The
like in
Walking
the
Dead.
dark
It's
smoke.
not
Yeah, the way they
Welcome to
filmed him.
Alexandria, yeah.
It is such a soap opera. Yes, it is. It is your modern day soap opera. No,
Oh my gosh.
it is. Come on,
You're
it is.
very funny. But what did we think about that husband? I really hope that we learn more about him because the way we were saying, the way they shot him.
The way
like,
they shot
totally
him just
so
gave you a
in-
bad feeling. Like you know
Yeah.
something's gonna happen
Yeah.
with him later. That's just-
Absolutely.
and that's gonna be good.
So,
Well, in the comics, there's this guy named Davidson who they keep talking about. I wonder if he's going to be Davidson. I don't know.
maybe.
I'm just as literally caught up with the comics right now
Right.
to the show. So,
So we do
I
have
don't know.
people. We do have
I'm
people
so
reading the
excited.
comics, you guys. So last but not least, everybody is getting a job in this community except for Sasha and Daryl. Do we think they're gonna get a job, or do you just? What's gonna happen? Because Daryl is not getting acclimated the way everybody else is. He's
Yeah.
over it. He won't even
I
shower.
think
You
they
guys.
need to take Noah off the run crew and put Daryl
Well,
on it.
Daryl needs to be the head of it for sure.
Right.
He needs to be.
Because we had that confrontation with Aiden and Glenn, and he was like, I don't like, you guys aren't doing this right. We know what we're doing. And there was that whole fight. So
Yeah.
maybe Daryl should join that crew. Anyways, well, we want to know what you guys
Well, I
think.
mean,
So
if Daryl joins that crew with Aiden still on it next time he tries something,
Aiden's gone.
He's done.
Aiden is
He's
be
gonna
done.
look like the possum.
Right.
Oh, let me tell you.
Well, keep commenting on YouTube and tweeting us using the hashtag TWDAS, and we will be right back with your fan questions.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing. So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the TWDAS.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Walking Dead After Show here on theStream.tv. We are so appreciative for you tuning in every Sunday with us. We love chatting about this show. And right now, we're going to shout out some of you that are tuning in live with us on YouTube. Glenna, who do we have?
All right, we have Connor Kilmer, Adam Carlson, and Mimi Rivera. Thank you guys so much. We're really grateful to have you guys.
And since you're already tuned in, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our after shows every week. Now we're going to get to some of your fan questions. You guys tweet us throughout the week using the hashtag TWDAS. And here are a few of the questions that we got. So our first fan question is from Miss Mika82. Do you think Daryl will die at the end of season 5?
Okay.
Okay.
We're not
Glenna has
doing
been
this right
having-
now.
Glenna's been having like an attack
We're not
about
doing
this.
This is not
We're
a
talking
legitimate
about it.
question.
Do you guys think Daryl's gonna die?
Why?
I've been seeing a lot of articles saying that something's gonna happen to Daryl.
Well, in all fairness, there was a lot of articles that said Daryl was
Daryl
going to be
was
the first gay character.
right.
And then he wasn't.
Right.
So,
Very true.
I mean, you can't really go by
No, they
articles.
can't do that. That would be way too devastating.
I don't think he's gonna die. But like you said, we were talking about the politician lady, and like every time she looks at Daryl, she looks like that. I don't know if I want him here type of attitude.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, Daryl's the pit bull of the group.
He is
pretty much. Yeah. Maybe she. I mean, they did talk about they do exile people if it don't work out. Maybe Daryl gets exiled at the end of the season.
Oh my God,
Glenna.
Calm down.
That is so gnarly.
That would be really interesting because he doesn't seem, like you said, he's the pit bull of the group. He's just not fitting in, but he's not trying either. You know?
If he got
But what is he
exiled,
supposed
though,
to
would
do? I
people
mean,
follow him?
remember
so.
all the way back in like season 2 when Daryl was telling about like where he came from. He was like a no good. He said he was a nobody. He did nothing in his life, and then all of a sudden the zombie apocalypse started to happen, and all of a sudden he was somebody.
He was somebody.
He fit in.
Yeah, that's true.
And now they're switching it back to normalcy, so now where is he going to fit in?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I get where you're going.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Can't
That's a
emotionally
good point.
handle any of this right now.
You're gonna be just fine. All right, well, let us know what you think about Daryl. Do you think he's gonna stick around, or do you think he's gonna die or get exiled? We want to know what you think. Our next question comes from @BeLoveConnect. In the comics, Aaron becomes Rick's right-hand man. I think it says, yes, Rick's right-hand man. Do you think that will happen in the show?
Like I said, I'm reading the comics right now, and I just caught up to where the show is. But I thought that Michonne was going to be his right-hand man because the governor in the comics, makes her a constable as well. So I thought that they were going to be working together. So I don't know where, but I mean, Aaron.
Because I know that I was reading up on the comics. I haven't read the comics, but I was reading some things that they'd become really good friends, and he confides in Aaron a lot. So if we're wrong, let us know. But I remember somebody posted this on YouTube saying that. So I think it'd be interesting if Aaron and Rick did become close friends, and he ended up chessing him, which would go in line with us saying that Rick's getting really comfortable in the community. Glenna, you're not so.
Well, we did see I don't know. This is just like maybe it might happen. We did see in the preview for the next episode that Aaron looks like he may or may not be shooting Daryl, but that's just me. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
But you know, previews always make it look worse than it actually is. All right, and our next question comes from the Readout 365. How would Carl react to this? Say Rick and Michonne getting together. How do you think Carl would react to that?
I think that Carl likes Michonne because after she like stuck with him in the comics, and they had that moment in the house, I think a season or 2 back,
where
when
she
was
helped
telling
him get that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good moment with them.
She would. I mean, he would feel a little bit better about them two getting together than him and this Jessie girl.
Yeah,
there's definitely going to be something with Jessie. They completely alluded to that fact.
Yeah.
So,
but I think Carl would totally. I mean, I think Carl already looks up to Michonne, like, as if she were his, own mother. But
I feel like it's more of a big sister, though, not a mother.
It's more like an aunt.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
It's more like an aunt.
Right.
Because they're related, but they're not like that related. So it's like, I'm saying.
I don't know. I think Carl. I mean, there's really. I think Carl would be cool with it.
Right.
As long as like let's keep it in the family.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think it'd be kind of weird.
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen anyway.
I just don't see Rick and Michonne together. I think it'd be very weird.
I don't know, man. Rick got out the shower and and she seen him without that beard. She was like, oh. And she just stared at him for a hot minute. It was like, I'm sorry, I just never seen you like that.
That's true. That's true. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So do we have a live YouTube question?
We do.
Glenna?
This question is from Roger Perez, and he says, "Could Daryl go off with his own group of survivors, a Walking Dead spinoff?"
I think that would be very interesting if, like we said, he gets exiled and then he ends up having his own.
Because
spinoff.
I know they're not going to kill him. People are going to riot.
People are
going to riot.
And I will be the leader of that riot. Thank you very much.
And maybe that's where, when Daryl gets exiled, he gets his spinoff, and his spinoff he meets Morgan, and him and Morgan just go around and kick ass and take.
Then it would be better than the show.
Yeah, that'd be like. That's better than Better Call Saul. I mean, I like that idea better.
Hey, that's good. So let us know what you think, if you think Daryl should get his own spinoff. We want to do some quick Twitter shout-outs to @Trey_Henry17, @CBTime, @ChrisHawkins94, and @BenJen4Live. You guys tweet us throughout the week asking questions, and we are so grateful. Since you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and tell your friends to join us every week and continue tweeting us throughout the week. And we're so grateful that you tuned in. And we will see you next week here on theStream.tv. Bye, you guys. Bye.
Join the conversation about your favorite TV shows on theStream.tv, the fan show network. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe now.